Pete Hegseth is once again under scrutiny after new reporting details how Donald Trump and White House staff were not informed of a pause on weapons shipments to Ukraine last week. The Associated Press described Trump as being caught, quote, flat-footed by the announcement, reporting that Trump's decision to send more defense weapons to Ukraine came after he privately expressed frustration with Pentagon officials for announcing a pause in some deliveries last week, a move that he felt wasn't properly coordinated with the White House, according to 3 people familiar with the matter. The White House did not respond to questions about whether Trump was surprised by the Pentagon pause. Additionally, CNN is reporting that the U.S. Special Envoy to Ukraine, retired General Keith Kellogg, and Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who's also Donald Trump's national security advisor, were also not told about the pause beforehand and learned about it from press reports, according to a senior administration official and 2 of their sources. We're back with Charlie and Paul. Charlie, Anne Applebaum said something interesting yesterday, that all the policy is pro-Russia, that all the policy reflexes and all the policy outputs are pro-Russia. Do you think it's that muscle memory, or do you think it's really a rogue Pete Hegseth? What do you think explains this?
Well, probably both. I just finished doing a podcast with Anne Applebaum, and she, goes through all of the ways in which we are essentially changing sides in this war. So this is, runs deep in MAGA, and of course, anybody who in this administration who's trying to figure out what is the, directional arrow would see the fact that abandoning Ukraine is very much a priority. Look, there's a lot of reporting behind this story, but I would also, I guess maybe I'll be the in-house skeptic once again, because something like this is of course deeply embarrassing to the administration, or ought to be deeply embarrassing to the administration. And I know that Pete Hegseth is capable of doing something reckless and rogue. But I guess I would also just put an asterisk of, like, why is the Trump White House so anxious to distance Donald Trump from this? Do we think that Pam Bondi decided not to release the Epstein files on her own without running that by Donald Trump? Do we really think that Pete Hegseth makes a major decision like this without Trump at least knowing something about it? Now, again, the reporting is pretty solid on this, but in this administration, you'll notice that Donald Trump has no problem using members of his cabinet as a heat shield and then throwing them under the bus when he wants to change direction.
Yeah, I mean, Paul, I would add it's pretty, the reporting is solid, but it's also specific. It's not clear that that Donald Trump didn't know. It's the White House. It's Marco Rubio reacting badly here. Yeah, sloppy, incompetent, and undisciplined. That is what has defined the Pentagon under Pete Hegseth's leadership. I mean, we've got President Mayhem and Secretary Chaos, and they're cut from the same cloth here. And when they're not coordinated, America's national security is at risk here. And I think there's something else happening, too. I mean, Hegseth continues to fumble. He continues to be out of touch. And he's, of course, trying to chase Donald Trump and his changes on policy, which happen by the minute. But I think he's losing Trump's trust as well. Trump is clearly frustrated with him. And at the end of the day, Trump's a grumpy old man. And he's losing his patience with Hegseth and with a lot of the people around him. So he could wake up tonight and just decide on X he's going to change secretaries of defense. And I think what's really important to understand is the disruption, the chaos, and the lack of stability at the Pentagon hasn't stopped. This has been there since he got there, and it's getting worse as the stakes continue to rise.